Let us begin, Mataji. Namaha Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So very good evening to all of you. We will continue reading from chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita. Mataji kindly upload it, put it up, not upload, on the screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So verse number 20. त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः। त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्ग नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः। त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः. Please move on to the translation and purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings. Purport. The freedom from the bondage of action is possible only in Krishna consciousness. When one is doing everything for Krishna, a Krishna consciousness person acts out of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he has no attraction for the result of the action. He is not even attached to his personal maintenance, for everything is left to Krishna. Nor is he anxious to secure things, nor to protect things already in his possession. He does his duty to the best of his ability and leaves everything to Krishna. Such an unattached person is always free from the resultant reactions of good and bad. It is as though he were not doing anything. This is the sign of akarma or actions without fruitive reactions. Any other action, therefore, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is binding upon the worker, and that is the real aspect of vikarma as explained herein before. Mataji, you can remove it. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahiyam Dadati Swapadantika. Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpataru Bhayascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we start now. When one This is a common way of thinking, that whenever one reads this type of literature where it is mentioned that don't aspire for the fruit of the work, it becomes impossible to digest, because we cannot imagine a scenario where there is no desire for work. Today, I will make some humble attempts to elucidate this fact, that how it's a reality. And yes, it is a reality which is very tough to comprehend. And we will go towards how Srila Prabhupada begins the purport, where he says the only way in which this can be done is when you are thinking about the happiness of Lord Krishna, and therefore you are Krishna conscious. So we will take one by one and make an attempt to understand it for ourselves. The first misconception, which appears absolutely right, is if I don't aspire for the fruit. Yes, yes. If I do not aspire for the fruit of the labor, then where is the impetus for action? A player first visualizes that he is receiving a gold medal, or somebody is calling. I'll have to tell that person that I'm in a class. So just give me 1 second. I'm sorry for this disturbance. So first is, when a player visualizes that he's receiving a gold medal or a bronze medal or a silver medal, then that desire to get that position acts as an impetus for that person to perform. So here when Krishna says the great souls do not aspire, they don't take shelter of the result of the action, then a common man gets confused. A singer, an upcoming singer, imagines, fantasizes about a big hall, a town hall or an Albert Hall, or wherever you have possibility of huge gatherings. And he or she visualizes that they are singing there and people are clapping. And that again acts as an impetus for them to act. Many a times parents also motivate their children. Everybody will get to know that you have done this, and we will be so proud of you. And the child takes that as the impetus for action. So a common man does not understand it. Mind you, this type or category of people is much better than people who only plan but don't work. They are lazy, lethargic, and unproductive. And they keep postponing things. And when they don't achieve the desired result, they blame things. This is how a person in a mode of ignorance acts. Therefore, he does not complete his work. Now, this type, the other type, where you and I fall, where we work towards our goals, but the fulfillment comes by the completion of the task. The Katha is now entering into that domain where, if the Lord, grants mercy, we may understand this riddle and be clear about it forever. That how does that state of mind occur where I'm doing it, I'm not succeeding at it, and I'm all right with it. So a rough example is love of a mother. Rough example, closest possible in material sense. That her satisfaction is not in fame, in glory of other types. Her satisfaction is whether the child like that particular vegetable or not, that particular dish that was made for the child. Kindly wait for a minute. So I'm very sorry for this recurring disturbances. Maybe majority of devotees are not aware, so the calls keep coming. So when a mother is serving the child, her focus is the happiness of the child. And even she may feel that no, the kheer wasn't up to the mark. She may feel sad about it. But this sadness is different from the sadness you derive out of, being devoid of your own sense gratification, which means you wanted to earn more money, you could not. You worked really hard towards it. You worked really hard and you did not get promoted. These things hurt us. But now imagine a scenario. I gave a close example, but you know, uh, this is not sufficient. So therefore, I'm switching to the better example. What happens is, suppose you are serving the Lord by book distribution. And what you know is that Lord Chaitanya, and Srila Prabhupada, they all have been desiring to distribute the Vedic literature. And therefore, we distribute Bhagavad Gita. Which means once you make up your mind, Lord Chaitanya is happy, Srila Prabhupada is happy. Okay. And if you think of, one day stepping out and you take prasad and get ready, they are more happy. Then you reach out to people and nobody purchases. But what you cannot understand is by coming in contact with a Vaishnav, the other person who is talking to the Vaishnav is getting purified unknowingly. You do not know that. For 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes that he was talking to you, chances are some of his sins left him. Or maybe many of his sins left him. When you told him about the Supreme Person, the importance of Bhagavad Gita, at that time, if he is listening to you, many more sins are leaving him immediately. And Krishna feels jubilant sitting inside your heart. And then the person declines. Krishna doesn't understand that aspect. He is very happy already that his children made attempt. But we, because we come from old conditioning, that I need to be the top distributor. I need to be recognized as at least a medium class book distributor. Oh God, if I come last in book distribution, it will be so embarrassing. These three categories of thoughts, Krishna doesn't give us. This comes from our own conditioning. The Lord is perpetually joyful. It's like when a father sees a toddler walking, he doesn't expect the toddler to run. He knows the toddler will falter, fall down. But when the toddler gets up and again makes attempt, the father and the parents, basically both, they feel huge satisfaction. attempt itself, the desire to attempt also, it pleases the Lord and purifies us. Devotees, this is magic. And when Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Prasad, Dham, when everybody is merciful upon you, then perhaps one realizes this. Srila Prabhupada uses a word called reversals. Reversals means you set out to achieve something and you got setbacks after setbacks after setbacks. Prabhupada got setbacks for 69 years. But because he belonged to this 4.20 category of liberated beings, his enthusiasm to serve Krishna, despite innumerable failures, did not decrease. His enthusiasm kept on increasing. He made attempts after attempts. So, after 69th year, he boarded the boat. And then in next 12 years, he circled around the globe 14 times. And he built 108 temples across all the continents. What I mean to say is, whether in material terms the result is quantifiable or not, devotees, please understand this part. This is the sum and substance of the class. The joy of serving is independent of any outcome. You don't know how to cook well, but you want to cook for Krishna. Cook. Don't get into that self-pity mode. Oh, my dear Lord, I am so, bad at it and I don't know whether you liked it or not, or all of that thing. No. With love, with devotion, with care, with concern, cook. And once you have offered, chant. Once you take that prasad, honor it. You will know what bliss means. I am so fallen, what's new? I am good for nothing, what's new? My dear Lord, I wasted so many years, I never prepared myself for you. Okay, so what? Now? Don't think Krishna thinks like you. Krishna is hankering for us. He wants to meet us back. His hankering is much more than ours. It's just that he himself he is bounded by his own rules. Krishna feels supremely joyful when he sees us growing in consciousness. Many of you wonder how, without any material opulence, these sages and saintly personalities, why do they glow? Why are they so blissful? What is it that is causing it to them? Then you will realize that when they don't work with all this, what will happen, what will not happen. They serve. Only when you serve, and even in service, devotees also commit mistakes. Book distribution is one example. There are numerous examples. One devotee was very good at doing shrangar, particularly the flower shrangar. And every day devotees would glorify him. One day one sannyasi came, and when the temple doors opened, the sannyasi also saw. But so many other junior brahmacharis had walked up to him and they said, Maharaj, this devotee, he decorates their lordships, this thing so well, the whole altar. And then Maharaj said, and his own ego. We must Be very careful. Joy of service is achieved by those who keep Krishna in center. I repeat, joy of devotion or joy of service is achieved by those who can keep Krishna in the center. And again, no need to feel discouraged. Every time you will learn something new. Let me give you an example. You thought of, cooking something for Krishna, and you are really good at it, materially speaking. Now you cooked it, and garnishing and decoration and taste and ingredients and quality of ingredients and proportion of it, everything immaculate. But while doing it, one fantasy came in your mind. Once the Lord has honored it, I will send some of it to my friend. Let him also receive the mercy of such tasty halwa. And here, because Krishna was removed from the center and you sat at the center, you, when I say, the false ego. Now the offering has gone to the false ego. It could not go, or partly it went to the Lord and substantially it went to the false ego. That's why that prasad will not create that magic. Because we unknowingly removed the Lord from the center. That is what you should know as how to do it. Take numerous examples again and again. Started for book distribution. Somewhere along the line, one devotee saw us doing it and he got super impressed by us. Now, next time I'm doing book distribution, the same devotee is watching. I'm suffering from performance anxiety. Krishna stepped out of the center, or I moved him away, because I have got a new image of being a successful book distributor. Wow, when Radhapati Prabhu speaks, number of examples he gives in his classes are wonderful. Now, next time, even when the examples are not needed, I'm giving them. Krishna is out of the center. Otherwise, the joy of service will keep you fulfilled, blissful, and confident. And the joy of service is not the effect. This is happiness of Krishna. And that is not a material effect. That because I am an MBA in marketing, I could distribute more books. No. It is transcendental, because I could keep Krishna in the center. Now from here, when you come to your routine activities, then how do we work? I am going to work because at my home, Gaurnitai are there. This is an example. And I wish to serve them. The best must go to them. And if you do not waver from that approach, then you will sing. Nitai Chaitanya bole nach re amar man. Nitai Chaitanya bole nach re amar man. Nach re amar man, nach re amar man. Nitai Chaitanya bole nach re amar man. When you will say Nitai and Chaitanya, your mind will dance. Simple people in huts could control the Lord because they knew this art. And you don't need to know it in terms of your intelligence. You need to know it in terms of transcendental instruction that keep Krishna in the center. No problem if no book got distributed. No problem if the bhog that got offered was not materially speaking so high class. दुर्योधन को मेवा त्याग्यो, साग विदुर घर खायो. That's the Lord. He rejected the meva of Duryodhan because Duryodhan rejected Krishna from the center. He wanted to say, you have, come to Duryodhan's palace. So everything will be royal. Krishna says, I don't care. But Vidur said, my dear Lord, I'm born of a Shudrani. And Krishna says, even then I'm indebted to you. Krishna favors those. Today you may not grasp it. Sometimes people boast. Oh, there is nothing. Paise ka kya hai? No, no, no. You don't speak. You don't know what you're saying. Where money is required, money is required. However, those saintly great personalities who never waver, their actions, whatever they do, yat karoshi yat ashnasi, yat juhasi dadasi yat tapasyasi konteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, Arjun, whatever austerity you perform, whatever charity you give, whatever you eat, all of them, do that first offering them to me. Then you will be free from the reaction of that work. So this is part one of the verse. Part two of the verse is, so if you do not know how to, put it in terms of sentence, part one was how to understand how can one work without aspiring for the result of the work. And I gave you multiple examples. Go for book distribution, doesn't matter if it happens or it doesn't. Cook for Krishna, doesn't matter if it is, even if it is substandard, just cook for him. You may think of getting better at it, that's okay. You may take transcendental anxiety to learn it, that is also fine. But don't lament. That is material quality. And gradually you will one day realize that, my goodness, I have stopped praying for my well-being. I've stopped it. 1 second, please. So I no longer, think about my existence. Now I'm anxious about how Krishna's work will be. Lord Chaitanya is saying, I'm a single gardener. How many fruits can I distribute? I need all of you to do it for me. It's a direct instruction. Jare dekho tare kaho, Krishna upadesh, amar agnya guru hoi taro desh. Wherever you see someone, tell him about Krishna. This is my instruction to you. Become a guru and deliver. Then we know what does Krishna want, and we accordingly act. Automatically, you will stop thinking about the result. Prabhupada, his enthusiasm kept on increasing. His rate of success kept on decreasing. Or you may say his rate of failure kept on increasing. Till 69 years. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada always knew it in one stroke, Krishna will make up for everything. Failure after failure, reversal after reversal. The devotee of the Lord keeps marching, not under pressure. Don't misunderstand me. No, I'm not talking about perseverance here. You are not getting it if you are mistakenly taking it down to a Rajasi level. I'm not talking about perseverance here. I'm talking about joy of service. Susukham kartum avyayam. My service is done susukham. with happiness. And it is inexhaustible. You keep doing, it will keep occurring. It doesn't end. Susukham kartum avyayam. This is the quality. So this is the part one of the thing. The part two of this whole bit is when the reactions come, what happens? Why is Krishna saying he is not bound by the reactions? Let's look at it like this. Suppose you are a businessman, and this financial year you got ₹1,000,000 as your net profit, and you have a small shop. Now you are thinking how to make it 2 million next year, and you're working towards it. Because you're working towards it, Siddhim Bhavati Karmaja. By doing, you get perfection. You got ₹2,000,000 next year. Now, understand this carefully. Your faith in action and result will increase disproportionately. Oh, I know. One who does gets, one who does gets, one who does gets. It becomes so strong that those who appear not to be doing the way you are doing, you genuinely think they are foolish, or they are fools, or they are fooling others. You believe like that. That's why whenever these Westerners see, devotees of ISKCON, they will say, get a job, man, get a job. Because their definition is work hard and be happy. Or else they will say, work hard, okay, don't work hard, work smart and be happy. But no one says work for Krishna and be happy. That third one is the thing. The other two may happen, may not happen. You have some bad piety following you. Now you're working very hard. So many people go to Mumbai. How many Shah Rukh Khans emerge? Same talent, same hard work, or maybe more. Only this lifetime you are looking at. Multiple lifetimes in the past. What about them? And then you will see some people have earned piety, so things come very easy to them. Rahul Gandhis of the world, Abhishek Bachchans of the world. And don't think that they are not the adhikari. They are. They may not have done it in this lifetime, but in some previous lifetime, some material piety is there, which have got them to this level. Today, their consciousness may have hit low. So they have lost the ability to further advance. Reaction does not just mean you will suffer from an accident, a murder, a disease. Not just that. Reaction also first occurs as the seed of desire, which then with the passage of time fructifies into a very big tree. And that tree gives us trouble. Those of you who could not follow what I said, first time a promiscuous thought, a lusty thought, or an angry thought, or a thought of seeking glorification and adoration, those thoughts will come to you at a very minor level. But this is a result of previous lifetimes where you have sought glorification exclusively for yourself. It's a continuation. Now your purpose of work is to get worshipped. Now you can understand, dear devotees, how far the common people are from the real effect of Krishna consciousness. Barely anybody cooks for the Lord. And hardly anyone goes and distributes books. Hardly. How many people chant in the world? 16 rounds. And how many of them chant attentively? How many of them are reading Bhagavad Gita properly? And those who succeed at doing all of this, they derive in due course of time that bliss. That bliss is so different that your hankerings feel dry. Your hankerings feel dry. You don't know. The magic of chanting the holy names and then crying for Krishna, missing the Supreme Lord. Some of us who went to Kishkinda, Hampi, and Udupi, in a matter of a day or day and a half, we forgot our external surroundings. We were just hearing about Lord Ram and we were going to pastimes places of Lord Ram. And I could see that many devotees were acting like little children. That basically means they were, for a while, so calm and happy that they automatically, without realizing, one, they became sinless, two, their tendencies got subdued. This is the result. They weren't expecting anything. They had a desire of hearing about Lord Ram. That joy of service, where you keep Krishna at the center. And what great result you realize. You realize that Sant Samagam Harikatha Tulsi Durlabh Doye. सुतदारा और लक्ष्मी तो पापी के भी घर होए. Dara means wife, Sut means child, or Sut means son, and Lakshmi. Even a sinful person gets it. But the two rarest of the rare are Santa Samagam, Hari Katha, glorification of Lord Hari, and congregation of saintly personalities. These are rare. So now onwards, when you work, dear devotees, you should know Yat karoshi yad ashnasi. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever donation you give, whatever austerities you perform, whatever yajna you perform, tad kurushva mad arpanam. Offer that to me. Do it for me. Only by doing it for him will you realize. And the last part of the class is, now think of those unfortunate ones who think that they are doing nishkam karma, but actually it is just slightly more subtle, that's all. Their ego is also very refined. They think we are more special than others, therefore we don't aspire for the result of the work. We are exclusive. That exclusivity is another form of ego. But they don't understand that, because there is no Krishna for them. So even though they go to office and they don't expect a promotion, but because they belong to this set of people who don't expect promotion, that seed of desire remains. Of course, you have decreased the scope of, fall down. But this seed is there. It will act. Very subtle ego, very subtle. But it remains. So no getting away from it, except working for the Lord. And dear devotees, when you work for the Lord, though one should not give one's own example, but only for the sake of explaining it with more relatability, I'm just, saying it. Since 2010, I have been leaving my home and stepping out for preaching. And every time I step out, I say, my dear Lord, though only you were handling, but my family members think that I am the one who is handling. However, now that I am leaving, I am also offering a prayer that if you think I was doing anything, now it is you who will have to do that thing. So you kindly take care of them. And after 16 years of preaching, I can tell you that Krishna never disappointed me. The truth is, he took care which I definitely could not. I am literally paying 10 paisa. When I say the word literally, doesn't mean, I just want to emphasize that I'm paying 10 paisa to earn billions of dollars. Maybe not even that. I just move this body around. But things keep on happening. They happen on an auto mode. And every time I feel embarrassed that what service did I do to you? But you have reciprocated in colloquial language, that song which says, Meri jholi choti pad gayi re, tune itna diya mere data. So your storage becomes way too small when the mercy flows. So go depend on Krishna and then see the magic. But to depend on Krishna, you need blessing of Guru or Vaishnavas. You don't intellectually learn it. When you are humble and you serve a devotee, then Krishna bestows it upon you. And then you actually perform this 4.20. Nirashraya. I'm doing it. It happens, it doesn't happen, doesn't matter. People memorize the verses. They learn it as a dialogue, or not a dialogue, as a impressive quote. Dialogue means, when two people speak. Monologue is when one person speaks. But an impressive quote is which you can, throw around and sort of impress others. Oh, we don't care. Many people I have seen, oh, we have done our bit now. Now, whatever Krishna decides. You don't know, you have no idea. You have no idea. You are a karmi. All you have done is some activities and their subsequent reactions you have got. Plain and simple. Now you are adding name of Krishna to it. You did some mischief. And you're not taking shelter of the Lord. You're just pretending. You will not get saved. You won't get saved. Those who say, my dear Lord, I goofed up. Please protect me. And I assure you that on this one, I will not goof up again. Depending on your honesty, Krishna reciprocates. One great quality about the Lord is he never reminds you of your past misdeeds. He forgives, which means he forgets. That is his nature. What does that mean? Which means, understand this carefully. When we notice 5 anomalies or bad behavior in people or traits, then we judge those people, always keeping those bad habits in mind. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't invite him home. He has a habit of picking up stuff and leaving. Like that. And now whenever you will think of that person, you can't, remove that thought. Krishna forgets. He treats that person again as equal. That is his remarkable quality. Krishna makes everyone feel absolutely comfortable, despite innumerable weaknesses. This is so sweet. Krishna behaves with the child exactly like a child, giving that child full space. And the child improvises because the child is not in anxiety. The Supreme Lord is so loving. And he continuously works for the welfare of all of us. He arranges so many things for us, beginning from seas to mountains to grass to trees to, name you, and those things are there. All of this, he has done it. So those great souls who can learn this art of nirashraya, I am not taking refuge. If this happens, then I will be happy. And bigger foolishness is, oh, so I don't aspire for anything. Now you will, suffer from a bigger calamity. Because at least these people got some material happiness. You didn't get that either. You were just sitting tight. Prabhupada says, how long will you sit tight? It's the nature of the mind to think. No one can live without thinking. So then give direction to your thoughts. Move them towards Krishna. And let every thought think of how to satisfy Krishna. Just do that much. Then work for him and see what happens inside. Books didn't get distributed. Doesn't matter. Not that the activity itself, no. The Lord felt happy. Therefore, the Jeev felt happy. That's what is the main thing. Now, some people may say, yeah, so then that becomes the result. Because you don't understand the difference between material result and transcendental result. Material result means my happiness. Transcendental result means Krishna's happiness. I knew what makes Krishna happy, so I did that. Okay, so once Krishna became happy, I became happy. Because when you look at the mirror, you see yourself. When you serve Krishna, you can understand yourself, that you are a part of him, that he is Sachidananda Ghan and you are Sachidananda. Mamevamsho Jivaloke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So we are part and parcel of the Supreme Truth. We are transcendental. You realize that by achieving this stage. Those of you who could understand, their attempts will become purer. Their hankering will decrease. Their lamentation will decrease all the more. And their desire to work for themselves will decrease even more. They will not possess too many things, nor will they aspire to acquire them. Thoughts of my devotees always reside in me, Arjun. And discussing about me, they derive great pleasure. Tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. Great satisfaction. Tushyanti. Completely satisfied. Independent of bungalow, car, mobile, wife, husband, anybody. Independent of that. Today, all I have done is to glorify that happiness. Somehow, if you develop trust in my words, that, oh, there exists that superior happiness which this person is talking about. And he's also saying how to achieve it. Pick up the books and go and distribute. Pick up your chanting beats, sit down and chant. Pick up your Bhagavad Gita and start reading. And in due course of time, you will experience that, which will be independent of anything material. I would like to pause now, and if you have any question, we can take those questions. Otherwise, I will now, end the class. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Prabhuji, one simple doubt. When we say we are offering the work to the Lord, I get a little confused here because when we do a mental analysis kind of an activity, we say that before the work we can do the offering. After the end of the work, again we say it is offer. But during the work, it is difficult to think of God, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. So the answer to this question is, suppose you have a presentation. Now, it's not that only chanting, only reading is a form of service. When you are very clear that you are working for the Supreme Lord, now like for example here in Mayapur, Srila Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj in 1970s, early 70s, 72, I'm talking about. Sorry. He was, working 12 hours of shift. And he would bring, cement bags from 14 kilometers riding on a bicycle. And he was super blissful. How does one derive that bliss? By carrying, cement bags. Because you are building for Krishna. Similarly, when you are in office, you are working on a presentation. Before you start working, you clarify to yourself that I am a servant. And because I get paid by these people, they require some service. I know that service. So I'm performing that task. Once you have finished that presentation, then you say, my dear Lord, accept it as a rose flower at your lotus feet. Now I'm taking it to the boss. It doesn't mean you goof up and send it and say, Krishna, accept it. Not like that. You work. Then you say, my dear Lord, you accept it. Now, whether the boss feels happy about it or he cheats me, exploits me, uses this presentation in my name, I don't care, because I never worked for that boss. I work for you. And you email it to the boss. If a great work comes, come back to Krishna and say, thank you. If the boss says, this one sucked, get better at it. But unnecessary lamentation is not allowed. Because you never worked for the boss. We are the clerk in the bank. The money doesn't belong to the cashier. It belongs always to the bank. So if somebody says, thank you, the cashier says, thanks to the bank. If somebody says, no money, you say, it belongs to the bank. What can I do?
Okay, Prabhuji.
So whatever task you perform, Prabhu, break them. And maybe by the end of the day, you will be actually offering 4 or 5 rose flowers to their lordships. And you will come back much happier. And by the way, you will materially also excel at what you do. Because it is being served to Krishna, you will offer it with more preparation. Thank you so much. It's already 9:30 now, so I will hang up here. Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande. Hari Hari. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.